recorded. Do I have to do my video or something? Can you see me? Can they?
Sharing the screen, right?
No, I'm not sharing my screen. No. Put
Hello.
her over here. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Stephanie. Good to
Oh,
see
good.
you.
And you can see me?
I can see you. Yeah. Can you see me?
Oh, yes.
Nice, nice.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Let me first of all activate the share screen because I know you'll be using your screen.
Oh, sure. Okay. Um,
Multiple participants can now share screen.
let's see. Share screen. Oh, there's a little button. Let's see. Share screen. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Let me share this one. 5. I have so many screens. We want to make sure we share the right one.
Okay, no worries.
I
Um,
think we're good. It's a
yeah.
lot of stuff.
How
All
have you
right.
been though?
Oh, I'm really good. How about you? How have you been? It's been a
I've been
while, right?
okay. How was Mother's Day?
Oh, so nice. My daughter came to visit me for the week. So it was really like Mother's Day week. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just a one day event. So it was
Mm-hmm.
spectacular because she lives far away. So it was great to spend a whole week. Although whenever she comes, she's always sick. So she usually
Really?
brings me a nice, yeah, gift of that. But okay.
Oh
I think I'm
no.
okay. Last night I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
How about you?
No.
How was your Mother's Day?
Mother's Day was nice. I went to see my folks for the weekend with my sisters. So we were just hanging out. Family time is always good time. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's nice. My folks aren't around, so it was nice
It was
to spend it with
nice.
my daughter.
I hope they treated
Yeah.
you like the queen you are.
Yes.
Queen treatment.
We went to like 2 concerts back to back. I'm exhausted. Yeah, I haven't recuperated yet. It's we're not so young anymore. Can't
Yeah,
party
once
like
you get
that.
older, the hangover gets like double, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't even drinking and I was hungover.
Hmm. From the partying and the music and
Yes, I'm up at
everything.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm,
So not everybody else is waking up at 3 a.m., but
yeah.
they're sleeping late and we're getting up early and yeah, that's the tough part. But it's all good. I'm
All
not
good.
complaining. I can't complain. I really can't.
Mm. All right. I
Yeah, you look
really
good.
respect that you're still active in the markets. I don't think you'll ever retire. Like once the trading bug hits you, you barely retire, you know? Like hardly a week goes by without logging into the markets and whatnot. So,
Oh yeah, every day. I will never ever stop trading. And people have signed up with me forever, for life. So I
mm,
can't stop. No, but I would never. I'm going on vacation though.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, we decided that we're gonna travel around the world. So maybe
mm-hmm.
I'll be headed towards you one of these days. When I
Oh,
do,
I wish you can
I'll let
come
you
to
know.
Nairobi and we can do something together.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
it is on the schedule, maybe like 2027 or
Uh-huh.
2028.
You'll give
But
me a heads up call. I'll give you my number after this and then you can
yes,
send me a
yeah.
WhatsApp.
And we're doing like trading cruises, which is a lot of fun. So
Mm,
a lot of my traders come on cruise with me and we teach and we
mm,
have such a good time. Everybody gets to meet each other and it's so much fun. We just did one to Mexico and we had like 40 people, 40 traders, and it was great. We're
wow.
doing one to Alaska in May.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people signed up for that. We're going to Greece, we're going to Bermuda, we're going everywhere.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
the trading community is still very active.
yeah, very active. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all day. Um, we're just enjoying our life at this point. You get to a point where you have to just really enjoy your life.
Yeah. All
It can't
right.
be all.
So I think today's session is going to be pre-recorded. I tried sending the link to my trading community. I think, guys, the timing is not so convenient for most people because they're either getting home from work and whatnot, but they're gonna see this on once we upload it on YouTube. So I think we'll just start. I think the major part of the webinar will be about maybe you taking us through your trading rationale, the kind of trades that you've been looking at. I can see the prints for the dark pool is still what the green things and whatnot. Maybe you will just refresh our memories how that is going on in terms of dark pool prints and following the big boys and whatnot. And then you can also tell us maybe the indicators you use. I know you use the exponential moving average for your trading as well. Yeah, and then I'll just I think the questions will come as we go. So it's gonna be like a free tutorial basically for a live trading session. Yeah, more like what you do in your trading room, calling out.
Yes.
Yeah, and then maybe you can start off by maybe telling us which asset classes you're focusing on right now. And also
Mm-hmm.
with the ongoing tariffs, has that changed your trading in a bit, you know?
Been great. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
I'll walk you through that. Yeah, I know everybody's always freaked out about the tariffs, and
Yeah.
it's not a bad. It's good. We just have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you what the news does. So do we start officially?
Yeah, for sure. You can
Okay,
actually
good.
share
We
your
officially
screen.
started. All right. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, Sylvia was asking me about the tariffs and, has that harmed our trading, because I know if you watch news, it's all over the news and everybody's freaking out about it. I'll be honest, I don't watch any of that. I really don't. I do just watch the dark pool activity, especially on the S&P 500. That's the biggest index out there. That's where most volume takes place. And that's what the large institutions are doing their trades. And it's really easy. I mean, I'm going to simplify it and break it down so like anybody can do this. I'm a big fan of that. I know there are a lot of people out there that are really smart and like to make things complicated, but I'm going to keep it simple. So what I watch is these late trades that are coming in 24 hours late.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we call them the Levi's. And if you've read my book, they used to always start with 502,000, 501, 503. But we know they're late because the SPY didn't trade at that price today. It was yesterday's trade. And this is how they hide billions of dollars. And this is how we know when every big move is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It gets very heavy. And these trades come in all day long. So we had this big correction. I'm just going to zoom in on my chart a little bit here. We had this really big correction. It took them a couple months to sell at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we had this big move down, right? And really three big waves. And right at the bottom is when the news started to get super duper bearish, in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of April. And I'm going to show you like two headlines. And then I'm going to show you how the dark pool was buying. And so it was super duper bearish, the world is coming to an end, tariffs, supply chain, blah, blah, blah. But let me show you the heaviness right here. I'm going to blow this up too on my chart. This is the SPY, and
Mm-hmm.
these are those late trades, and here's the volume. And it lights up in green when it gets really heavy. That's how we know the big guys are either buying or selling big. And they usually buy big at the bottom of a, 10% correction. And they usually sell when we have a huge rally and they get heavy. We can guess they're selling, but we don't actually take a trade until it goes above all those trades or below them. You have to wait a little bit. It doesn't happen in one day, but you can see it was really light. 5 million, 3 million, 4.7. 7 is pretty heavy, but okay, 2, 2, 3. Then we got 10
And
million. Let me just look at these. You can see, right? They're like
yeah.
huge green levels. And if
Yeah.
you add that up, 7 billion. Okay, another seven. No, it's not seven. 5 billion, 8 billion, 5 billion. We're talking a lot of money. And that started on April 3rd. So we're going to go back to the chart and you'll see that's where it got heavy, right at the bottom. Let's just zoom in on this chart. Hold on a sec. Again, it's right here. I mean, this is where they bought April 3rd. This is April 3rd, April 4th, right? And into the 9th. They bought in this area. They bought here. Now check out, I'm going to just show you because I made this slide for a meeting I had in the room yesterday. And I was like, wow. I looked up the sentiment, market sentiment on April 3rd, right here. April 3rd, CNN, Trump's massive tariffs shake the market, spark recession fears, right? The big recession word that's scaring everybody. You know, I even had all my family members calling me. What should I do? Should I sell? Okay. And that's how I know it's time to buy, Sylvia, right? When your friends and family are all like, what, they're freaking. I wait for the phone to ring. Honestly, my sister-in-law, all my neighbors, everybody was calling me and freaking out. And I'm going, but I bought everything, you know, and I was like, that's it. If everybody's scared, you know, and of course we were seeing those large prints. But Wall Street plunges, you know, Trump, Liberation Day. It's like it was just all fear. So that's what happens. Here's, you know, here are the big guys buying. Here's the big guys. And as the market moves up, the bad news increases. So you see it go up, but you're scared because you're still doing fear. And then we go sideways. And then, you know, a lot of people feel, oh, okay, you know, oh, it's a good thing I didn't buy. And then, you know, more bad news, and then another big up movement. And then you're very confused if you're a retail trader, you know, and you're not watching the tape. And, you know, they keep piling it. When we should get nervous is when the good news starts coming out. Okay. When CNBC starts telling everybody, oh, it's good, come on in, you know, come on and buy. Now, I'm not going to just short the market, but we have to see them selling heavily, you know, at the top. And we will see it. We've seen it every single time. You know, I've been doing this for 30 years. So I've never been surprised of a big market move. You know, so that's, you could have picked so many different stocks, really. So many are crushed. Nvidia, Tesla, you know, all your favorites, and just bought really almost anything. I mean, there's a couple stocks that didn't really move up that I'm watching right now. Apple. And it's all about, you know, deal or no deal. You know, are they going to deal? These companies, are they going to put money back in the US? And this is really what's happening right now. All the companies that said yes, they are going to move their money back from China or India into the US, their stocks start going up. And that's just, look, it's the pattern. Whether or not you agree with it, I'm not even getting into politics or anything. But this is just, I'm watching the pattern. So I am watching Apple. If it can break above 215, I made this recommendation yesterday. Yeah, this is what we call the creek of an accumulation pattern. If you've studied Wyckoff, it's a rounded bottom. And every time they've taken it to this area, about 212, 212.50 area, they've sold, you know, and they pushed it down and pushed it down. So the fact that we made a higher low, right, each time, it's almost an ascending wedge formation. And if we can close above 215, yeah, Apple could be a really good buy. But wait for it to close above there, okay? I don't try to front run the levels, but yesterday I made a recommendation on that. Yesterday I also made a recommendation on Starbucks. If it can close above, same kind of pattern, rounded bottom. Right, you have sellers exhaustion, which is happening here, and buyers came in. I wanted to break up, and if it can close strong above that, this thing is going to rip. Yeah, I mean, it's getting close to it. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we have been taking profit on that had, you know, some really nice runs. The airline stocks have done, you know, really well. Cruise, I'm watching the cruise stocks, Carnival. is one that's had a lot of dark pool activity, and really it's been held down for a long time. I mean, there's so many that I like right now, that we're in, that we are taking profits, that we are rolling. We don't risk a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
look at Carnival. Oh yeah, so Carnival found its bottom, and here's a huge pocket to the upside. And we just had some really nice dark pool activity that came in again this week. I'm just kind of waiting for it to close above 23.50. A little bit more if it closes strong. Um, I'm in it rolling my option trades.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we have a bottom, Sylvia, um, and you start to buy stocks, that is, it's really easy to have exititis because you take your profit, and then if it keeps going up, that's when I used to freak out as a stock trader. Oh my gosh, I never pegged the top. It was always like, oh, I got out, I left money on the table. People suffer from this exititis. And so I found a way to cure this, and it's been phenomenal. And it's really just trading options. When we
Mm-hmm.
trade options, we can buy something for like $20. We can risk $20 to make $80 on option trades, which for me is a no-brainer. And then we just keep rolling our option up and up and up, taking our profits in. And this way we ride it as far as we can, but we're not going to have that exititis until the last trade doesn't work out. And then I feel good, and this took me many, 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 many years to get to this point where I don't suffer from exititis anymore, but it was horrible, as a trader, you kind of second guess where you're going to sell. Entering is easy, but it's getting out
Yeah.
that can be really the toughest part, right?
Yeah, so maybe for the guys who'll be watching us for the first time, maybe explain to us, like kindergarten children, what all these lines mean, because it seems like a very busy chart. It seems
I
like a
know.
very busy chart, and someone would just come in and ask, what is going on here?
What is all those lines? Okay, well, I have a simple chart here. So on mine, I have a lot of moving averages. So each of these moving averages on this chart is an
Mm-hmm.
algo loaded to sell. And that's why it's had such a tough time, getting up. Each time it hits one of them, there is a program to sell, which knocks it down, knocks it down, and knocks it down. When the coast is clear, okay, when the coast is clear, there's no moving averages there. It goes up a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's why it looks so sloppy. I've learned to look right through them, and then I zoom in and find those little pockets for shorter term trading. But yeah, if you're not used to them, I have a here. I'm going to open up. This chart only has like two moving averages, and hold on. See, much easier to see here, right? Um, there's two that's very important that I use for trend changes, and that's the 4 and the 8 exponential moving average on a daily chart. And I know I've talked about this in the past. When the 4 crosses over the 8, like it did right here on Carnival, the pink line crossed over the black line.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the trend changes, and that's a good spot to enter to go long, to buy a stock or buy options, especially if we have institutional money flow. I don't just trade on these moving averages. I have to see the big guys put down millions of dollars. I mean, they're going to move it up and down, regardless of what the news says or anything else. They're going to move it up and down. So it's just that I have a lot of moving averages, the 50, the 100, the 200 simple. I have the 120, the 90. I there's a lot. I get it. Each one has made me a lot of money, which is why I keep it on my charts. I've had others that didn't like make it. I put them
Mm-hmm.
on, and they didn't work, and I've taken them off. So I just concentrate on the next one that's in front of my trade, and I use them as exits.
Mm-hmm.
So as targets,
All
and
right.
then I roll them out. So good question. Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff on there.
All right. And then maybe for the sake of the people who do not understand what dark pools is, and also tape reading, because you told me you're an old-fashioned tape reader. Maybe you can explain to us what that is.
Okay, so when I started, on tour years ago, back in 2013, and I started talking about the dark pool. Like nobody knew about it. People thought I was out of my mind, a conspiracy theorist. What are you talking about, this dark pool? And now I feel like everybody does know about it. I mean, there are a lot of people on Twitter and social media, talking about it. But it's really just this alternative exchange where the big guys like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, where they do their trades. And they do their trades in this alternative exchange because it gives them a lot of benefits. So they don't have to report that trade being executed until it's completed. So if they have, let's say, they want to buy 5 million shares of a stock and they only got filled with a 1 million today, they don't have to tell us that they bought 1 million until their entire order is completed. So it gives them that benefit. Back in the day, it gave them benefits of lower commissions. Now, a lot of us don't even pay commissions on stocks, but it's really this 24-hour late loophole. There's a loophole that if they cross their trade from the London desk to their New York desk, that they don't have to report them for 24 hours, as opposed to 3 hours, which is when their regular order gets completed. So it gives them a whole day. And so they're able to kind of hide their orders in that exchange until it's done. So people don't see them, because if we saw the dark pool back in October 3rd and 4th and 9th, if we saw them buying, they would not have gotten the price that they had wanted to buy down lower. Everybody would have rushed in. Oh, Goldman Sachs is buying. I'm going to get in, right? I'm going to get in before him. And so that's why they're doing their trades on this alternative exchange. And there's like 40 of them. We could do trades in them. Yeah, you can, if you put your order out to get done in them, you can. But I mean, I just put my order out to get done in whatever market first. But you can just, filter it to trade in the dark pool. And, when it comes to technical stuff, as far as reading the tape, so there's a lot of different ways you can read the tape. So number one way of reading the tape is I've been monitoring these large trades in the dark pool for, 30 years now. And so I know when something is unusual. I know when, hey, I've never seen a trade on that before. Like, you know what? I'm going to give you an example. Do you trade any crypto at all? I think you do.
Yeah,
Do you trade crypto?
Bitcoin and
So
Ethereum, BTC and ETH.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what I spotted? I spotted massive dark pool activity on Ethereum, and I'm going to show you. On ETHE, all right, so
Yeah.
hold on. Massive. I'm going to show you the trades. I'm using, by the way, this scanner called Mobi. One of my traders designed this. Oh, so here's another thing. Schwab used to have a block trade indicator, which is where I've spotted the dark pool for, I don't know, over a decade. They got rid of it. Can you believe that? They got rid of their best part of their software that was giving retail traders like me and everybody else an edge by seeing the dark pool, and they nixed it. So thank God, one of my traders was in the middle of developing this software, and so now we see them all, or else it would have been not as easy. So check this out. 2 million. This is where the dark pool bought, Sylvia. $26 million trade. Okay. On April 11th. And then they bought more on April 22nd, April 23rd. Right there. So let's go to April 11th. ETHE. Okay, April right here. April right at the bottom. Okay. Is where now they didn't really buy in that day, I don't think. I think they were buying the last 4 days. It's just that they completed their order on that day, and that's when they posted it, because that's usually what happens. But it doesn't matter. And where do you go long when you see that? We don't always know it's buying or selling. I don't know. I give levels where I'm bullish above and bearish below in my room. And so here is where you go long, by the way. I'm just going to show you a textbook long. When it closed strong above the 8, I just showed you that 4 and the 8 on above average volume. That's where you enter your trade. And then you put your stop if it closes below where that dark pool print entered right here, in that 13 area. I would have stopped out if it went below 13.
All right.
And
And
it's really that easy. I'm going to make it bigger here. Let me show you on this chart again, just because it was just much easier to read. I know my traders have learned to
all
oops.
right. So there's a question coming in. Could you kindly share the name of this scanner? So that's Mobi Tick, right?
Yes, Mobi Tick.
Mobi
Yes.
Tick.
Mobi Tick.
And then
Trading.
there's another one asking, do you ever make use of pin bars? Because they're seeing on the volume, like you have like some type of bars. So they're asking if that's a
Oh,
thing.
volume bars. Yes. Yeah, volume is like my number one indicator. It's the gasoline that's going to push a stock up the hill or down the hill. And the bars are colored green if we open lower and close higher, or they're colored red if we open higher and close lower. They're black if we open and close at the same price. We don't have any black bars here. But just to show you how easy, right? We saw the big prints on the 11th. And then here, right? First day, it's closing strong near the high of the, and up we go. It pulls back and up, we go. Look at that. Now, we didn't just see prints on ETHE, by the way. We got dark pool activity on 2 other Ethereum products that I've never heard of, to be honest. I've never seen it before. And because of that, I have a newsletter. Hold on, I'm just gonna show you, called Dark Pool Insights. And just to show you, I map out all the trades, but these were the ones, ETHA and FETH. I've never seen that before. So that weekend, we had prints on all 3 of this and IBIT, another crypto. So, it just gives us confirmation that that's where the money flow is going. And as you know, we had a huge rally and all that since April. So I can show you, this is mobiticktrading.com. You can go to the website. It's phenomenal. I can do a whole webinar just on this software. Check it out. Everybody needs software that helps them with their trading system. And this was designed for me personally. So it was the best gift I ever got. That's all I can say doing this. Best gift anybody's ever given me. See, look at this FETH. Massive 1.4, 1.2. Like I've never seen this before. So whether you want to trade Ethereum or you can buy ETHE, whatever you want to trade it is up to you. But you need to know when the dark pool is buying and when they're selling. And that's really key.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love trading crypto. It's great.
Right.
And there's also Bido. Bido's another one that's cheap. Another cheap way to trade it, especially if you have an account that you're not paying taxes in, like a Roth IRA. I don't know what they have in your country, but we have a Roth IRA where you can put money in every year, sorry, and then you can, and you don't have to pay taxes. So you can make a lot of money without paying taxes. Yeah. Do you have that?
I think, there's, I think when it comes to paying taxes for traders, because the broker companies usually pay the taxes, we don't pay taxes. We don't file taxes as retail
You
traders.
don't file taxes?
Yeah, because the broker pays our regulator is called Kenya Revenue Authority. So as
Oh,
traders, we don't remit taxes because the broker already does that on our behalf. That would be like double taxation. But of course, if you're employed, you pay the income tax, the pay as you earn tax.
right.
But not, yeah, yeah. It's just a clever way of also navigating the taxation policies in the country. But yeah, I actually wanna shout out one of the sponsor brokers for this particular webinar. It's a female-led company with offices in Cyprus, South Africa, and now they're expanding into Kenya and East Africa. That would be like a very good starting point for retail traders with people who just want to test the markets and whatnot. They can actually be able to trade all these things that you're showing us, the SPY, the stocks, the Apple stocks, the cryptocurrencies, and everything under the sun in terms of asset classes. Yeah, so maybe you can tell us, because I think we have about 10 more minutes. At least we've understood your trading rationale. You follow the dark pools and the big money, institutional money. And then we've also seen how you actually execute and exit a trade. Maybe you can also touch a little bit on your, because I know you're an author, on your books, and also because you mentioned a newsletter. I don't know if it's a weekly newsletter or a daily newsletter for your traders and your trading community, so that people can plug into your kind of trading rooms.
Sure. Well, thank you. Yeah, I write a book. I wrote about it in 2018,
Mhm.
exposing the dark pool, shedding light on it, but also teaching, most importantly, really teaching people how to profit off of these hidden trades. I have it. Oh, here it is. You can go to darkpoolsecrets.com. If you
Mhm.
live in the US, it's a free book. You just have to pay for shipping. But if you're outside of the US, you can go to my website, thedarkpools.com, go to the store right here, and here's my book here, and I'll even autograph it for you if you buy the book as well, in the US or outside of the US, for $49.99. If you're outside the US, because it's costly to ship it there. But yeah, the website has all of our services here, our trading rooms. I have an app, an interactive app room, which is also an app. You can come in with your computer or you can log in through the phone.
Mhm.
And I'm there all day calling out the unusual dark pool prints. I have a video newsletter I put out every weekend. So I watch all these dark pool prints throughout the week. It's really my homework that I'm sharing with you. These are the trades that I'm going to be looking to take and recommend. And I do a whole PowerPoint, and I create a video out of it. And it's called Dark Pool Insights. And here's just the last one I did on May 5th. And I start with the SPY. I'll just kind of show you this one slide just to show you a little bit. I start with the SPY. I show you the recent dark pool levels. So if you don't have the software, I'm really just doing the homework for you. And
Mhm.
then I give you levels to go long. So I was bullish above 568, and we did go up and hit all the targets. In fact, we're at 590. So this weekend, I have to map out all new trades, and I do it for the SPY, the Russell, the Qs. I go through gold, oil. I mean, look, it's a lot of slides, oil, utilities, transportations. And then at the end, in crypto, I do everything: technology, emerging markets, banks, retail, consumer. And then at the end, this is the best part, is I make a slides for you where I give you all the stocks here so you can print it out or you can download it. We give you a PDF.
Mhm.
And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can trade what you want. But this is
Right.
where all the unusual dark pool activity had been coming in. This is from May 5th, had been coming in. And then if you have Mobi, we put all these trades into your watch list for you. You don't have to do it. It gets automatically, yeah, which my traders love because, they don't want to spend an hour, inputting it. What I do is I pick the ones that are my favorites and I concentrate on that because, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. So a lot of people were overwhelmed with this process and they said, Steph, can you please help us? There's so many, I need help. And so I created the Insights Plus, which are option recommendations.
Mhm.
Every week during the week, I'll say, like I just showed you Starbucks. This is my recommendation on Starbucks. If it closes above, let's see, if it closes above 87.50, If it closes above 87.50, I want you to take this trade. It's a 95 100 call debit spread going out to July 18th. And the best part about this is like right now, you're risking $64 to make 400 pretty much.
Mhm.
So low risk, high reward option trades. We have this edge. We know there's going to be a big move, but the big thing is, okay, what if we're on the wrong side? Because I don't always get it right. Nobody's perfect. It's a small risk. So it's a small loss. And then we go on the other side of the trade. We'll put a bearish trade on if they are selling. But this is very helpful to so many different people. And by the way, you can get Mobi right on my website. It's right there under services. Just click on Mobi Tick Trading. This way we'll know you came
Yeah.
from this webinar. Um, and that's pretty much it. We have a lot of workshops. We do live trading workshops. I'm doing
Mhm.
one next. Yeah. And if you go to the store, you can find it there. You go to
Okay.
store and you go to live. I have one coming up. It's a booster. It's day trading and swing trading all day long. And then I have another instructor, Taz, is doing one on Fibonacci and Elliott Wave. So, you
Um,
can read more. We teach, we have coaching. I mean, we just, it's
all
a
right.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I believe that when you teach and train, you always, invest in your knowledge as well and your skill set improves. Maybe the last thing, because I haven't seen any questions so far. As we conclude, maybe you can tell us maybe one takeaway that we should watch out for during these markets, because I believe the markets are cyclical and dynamic. They keep changing so that we can also have that longevity, like you have 3 decades of trading experience. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people that might have missed this rally that we had. Right now you have people that either want to peg the top and short the market, and then they'll get squeezed up. Um, or you have people that are just sit it out. Oh, I missed it, and I don't know what to do. So it's very important, number one, to have paper trade until you understand and you have a good solid strategy. That's number one. Number two, join a room somewhere. If it's not my room, join another room, a group, trade with people. Don't trade by yourself. When you trade by yourself, you're not going to elevate. You're not going to learn, right? We learn from others. I've learned so many things over the years. I started just trading stocks, and I never would have traded options if I didn't have traders in my room that taught it to me, that kind of pushed me along. Hey, you got to do this. You got to do options, Stefanie. And I am not the same person I was a year ago, the same trader. So surround yourself with like-minded individuals so you're not alone, and find a strategy that works. But also keep in mind that trading is just not about just having a strategy that works. There's a lot of mindset. It's a performance career. You
Yeah.
have to perform well, and people don't realize that when they come to me. They may not be good performers. So we also we're actually bringing in a trading coach. June 10th, I'm doing a webinar, free webinar. If you come to my website on the main page, you'll see, let's see, homepage. Yeah, you'll see a link here, right here to register to this webinar. I have this incredible trading coach that is coming in that is going to help us with our mindset. We're going to be doing a series of webinars. So, those are always really helpful.
All
But,
right.
it's not for everybody, Sylvia. It just like I'm not an architect, and it's like not everybody can become an architect or a doctor. But see if it is, but don't risk a lot of money seeing if you are made to be a trader or not. That's number one.
All right. That's all the time we had, unfortunately, but I'm sure we're gonna have you again. Next time we'll talk more about options, call options, put options, spreads, and whatnot. So thank you so much for your time, Stephanie, and I'm looking forward to. I will email you my phone number, and then we will,
Great.
yeah, have that conversation about you coming to Nairobi, and I can take you to the national park and
Great.
whatnot.